In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the new AI audio tools in DaVinci Resolve 20 that on the surface look like they could make mixing the audio for your next video an absolute breeze. So, should audio engineers be shaking in their boots? Did AI just replace their jobs? We're going to put these tools through their paces and find out. Before we begin, one tool we won't be covering in this video is the AI voice convert. I wanted to concentrate on the mixing side of Fairlight in this video. I'll leave a link in the description to my video where I share my first reactions to the beta release, including the voice convert tool. We're going to begin with the AI EQ matcher. This is supposed to help us get two different microphones to match better by applying the EQ profile of one clip to another. In this example, I've recorded the same line at the same time using two different microphones. The first clip is from a Shure SM57, and the second is from my iPhone, which I held right next to the mic. So let's listen to them back to back. DaVinci Resolve 20 includes more than 100 new features, including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. DaVinci Resolve 20 includes more than 100 new features, including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. Okay, to get this tool to work, first we're going to select the SM57 clip. We're going to head up to the clip menu. We'll go down to Audio Operations, EQ Matcher, Capture EQ Profile. Now we're going to select the iPhone clip, and this part's very important. Under the inspector, I want you to make sure that the equalizer for the clip is turned on. Then we'll go back to the clip menu, Audio Operations, EQ Matcher, Apply to Clip EQ. And if you look at the equalizer, you can see a bunch of adjustments have been made. So now let's listen to them back to back again and see if we can really notice a difference. DaVinci Resolve 20 includes more than 100 new features, including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. DaVinci Resolve 20 includes more than 100 new features, including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. Now it's not a perfect match, but it's certainly a little bit closer. Let's just listen to a couple of smaller sections back to back. DaVinci Resolve 20 DaVinci Resolve 20 including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. Including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. And here's the iPhone clip again without the equalizer. I'll turn it off and on a few times so you can hear it. Including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. Including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools. I could probably use a little more bass, but that's definitely closer than it was. And to be fair, the microphone on an iPhone is not going to compare to an SM57. Next up, we have the AI level matcher. The description honestly just makes this sound like it's applying normalization. For this example, I'll test three clips. One at a normal volume, one that's too quiet, and a third where the volume of my voice will change over time. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. I'll play these clips back to back real quick. DaVinci Resolve 20 includes more than 100 new features, including an incredible collection of never-before-seen AI tools, designed to speed up every stage of your post-production workflow so you can focus more on the creative aspects of filmmaking. So obviously the second clip is a little bit quieter than the first, and the third clip has me speaking at different volumes. So we're going to select the first clip, and in the menu we'll go to Clip, Audio Operations, Level Matcher, Capture Level Profile. Then I'm going to select these two, go to Clip, Audio Operations, Level Matcher, Apply Level Profile. And as I suspected, it does just seem to have added some normalization. This second clip has been turned up by about 6.5 dB because it was quieter, and this third clip has actually been turned down about 2.5, but it doesn't account for the fact that there are quiet moments and loud moments. So I don't know that this tool does much more than the normalization tools we already had. And for clips like this third one, you'll probably just want to use the AI dialogue level that we already have. If you find this kind of honest review helpful, I'd love if you could take a couple of seconds to give this video a thumbs up to help more people find it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the deep dives I have planned for the other new tools in this latest update. Now, the next couple are two of the more exciting sounding tools in this update. First, there's the AI music editor. This helps you make a song longer or shorter by either typing in your desired duration or just grabbing the end of the track and making it shorter. They've had this in Premiere Pro for a while, so I figured it was only a matter of time before we would see it here in Resolve. On this timeline I have two different music tracks, one beat driven and one ambient. To use this tool we're going to select the first track, and in the inspector we'll reveal the AI music editor. And we'll start off by just typing in a duration. So let's say we want to make this 2 minutes. So we'll type in 2:00:00 and hit adjust, and it's going to analyze the clip. I don't have the greatest analysis speed, but that might be due to this computer, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Okay, and it has chopped the track down to just over 2 minutes, so it's not an exact length. And you can see by these wavy lines where it's made its edits. So let's listen to those points and see if we can hear the edit. Okay, that first one's pretty impressive. Let's find the next one. Well, I can hear that edit a little bit more. If you're not happy with its first attempt, it does give you versions, so we'll click on version number 2. Let's put edits in slightly different points. The first one's still good. Second one. I mean, I can definitely still hear an edit there. We'll try number 3. That almost sounded a little bit rushed. Let's try that again. Yeah, I think that edit might be slightly rushed. And this second one. Yeah, they keep putting that edit in the same spot, and it's not the greatest place to put an edit. We'll try number 4. But I suspect it's probably the same place or thereabouts. So not ideal. I mean, it's on the beat, but I can definitely hear the transition. If you right-click on the track, you can go to Decompose in Place using clips only, and that will show the cuts if you want to try and fix it yourself. I'm going to undo that. I'm actually going to go to a different option, which is Live Trim. And with this, I can just grab the end of the track, pick a new duration, and it should live update. See, this one has 3 edits in it. The first one was better. It keeps putting that edit in the same spot, and it's not an ideal spot. How's this one sound? That one's great. Okay, let's make this a bit longer and see if we can improve the situation any. Listen to the first cut. That's great. Let's try this one. That's great. Yeah, those are all really good. So it does seem to be a little bit hit and miss, but I like that it does give you these versions that you can test out. And I also like that you can decompose it and make your own edits if you want to. Let's try again with this more ambient track and see how difficult it finds it. So I'm going to unsolo track 1 and solo track 2. And if you didn't know, in the Fairlight menu, there's an option called Exclusive Solo that was recently introduced. And when you press the solo button, it unsolos any other track. So that's a handy little button to have. I'm going to select this track 2. We'll try this again in say 2 minutes and hit adjust. And once again, I'm going to speed through this analyzing. All right, let's see how much it struggled with this. You know what, that's not bad at all. I'm not really sure why there's a cut at the end here though, because the music is faded out. Yeah, that's a very strange erroneous cut. Let's try a couple more of these versions. Oof, I can definitely hear that one. Try number 3. There's one at the beginning here as well. That's just fine. Let's try this one. That's not ideal. Try number 4. That wasn't great. It really wasn't bad. So while it is built for beat-driven music, definitely sounds like you might be able to use this on something more ambient. We'll have to judge it on a case-by-case basis. I obviously can't test every piece of music ever written. And now we're going to play with the AI audio assistant. You don't have to do too much to prepare your timeline for mixing. All they really ask is that you don't have different types of audio on the same track. So music shouldn't share a track with sound effects, that kind of thing. To test the tool, I'm going to use 2 short promos taken directly from the Blackmagic Design training materials. This first example is a promo for organ mounting outfitters. Now I've done no mixing to this at all. The only thing I have done is made sure that different types of audio are on different tracks. So this track 1 is the interview, tracks 2 and 3 kind of Atmos sound effects, and then track 4 is the music. So apparently all we need to do is go to Timeline, AI Tools, Audio Assistant, and then pick the delivery standard. Now since you're watching this on YouTube, I guess we will use YouTube. And now we'll hit the magic auto mix button and see what happens. Okay, so it has moved some tracks around and color coded them. I kind of wish it would leave the tracks where I put them. That's a little bit annoying. That was very quick. That was significantly quicker than analyzing the music. I'm going to pull the mixer out a little bit so we can see if anything's going on with the faders. It does look like they've turned down the faders for the background sound. That green on the music fader means there's automation, which means it should be going up and down as the promo goes. If I select some of these clips, it has made adjustments to the volume, which you can see in the inspector. So let's just play this from the top and see how it sounds.
My name is Chris Lang, and I'm the founder of Organ Mountain Outfitters. We are located in our store in Las Cruces, New Mexico. We want people to experience the Southwest because it's so unique. There's nothing like it that I have personally ever experienced, whether it's the community, the culture, the food, the landscapes. That's what really inspires us. And we take that inspiration and we bring it back to the store, and that's really where the design process starts. Our brand is just really a reflection of our community and who we are. That's why we say, experience the Southwest.
Okay, it's not bad. Some of these sound effects might be a little louder than I'd like. It doesn't look like the automation for the music is automatically ducking in between the dialogue parts. It looked like it just went down at the beginning and stayed down until the end. But there isn't anywhere where you can adjust the sensitivity of the auto ducking. I'm going to head to the Fairlight page so I can have a little bit of a deeper look. If I make the music track a little bit bigger, I want to look at the fader level. And yeah, as I suspected, the automation that it made turns down at the beginning and then it just lives down there until the very end, which is a little bit disappointing. One thing I want to check is, did it actually reach the loudness standards for YouTube, which would be an integrated number of -14 LUFS and -1 true peak. Now, to measure the LUFS, you have to play it back in real time to get an average number in this integrated section. But a quick way of doing this is if you go up to Timeline, go to Audio, bounce mix to track, and we'll select New Track and hit OK. What this is going to do is very quickly render out a file, and then we can analyze that file. So if I right click on here, go to Clip Operations, and down to Analyze Audio Levels, I can select YouTube as the loudness standard, and so here you can see it should have a true peak of -1 integrated with -14. And it's actually too loud. That's interesting. The other thing I want to check is what kind of effects have been added. So it has added some voice isolation and dialogue leveling to the interview and a de-esser. Not a whole lot of EQ. It's literally just made a cut on the low end, and that's it, which is a little surprising. And some relatively simple compression. Oh, and this is strange. That's added multiband compressors, but the controls are nowhere near the controls you would normally have if you did want to make some adjustments. If I add another multiband compressor, you can see the amount of controls you normally have. It's very odd to me that the controls are completely different. Is that just for this multiband compressor? Delete that. What about the limiter? Oh, that's the same thing. That's odd. If I add another limiter, and you can see the difference. Dynamics, Fairlight, limiter. Yeah, significantly more controls. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. We're going to try this out on one more edit, which I think is going to find pretty challenging. This is another edit from the Blackmagic training material from Miss Rachel's Pantry. So again, I'm going to select all of the audio, and I'm going to just completely reset the volume to have no changes applied. So this one is similar in that there is dialogue, music, and some natural sound. But if I solo these really quick, you can hear the dialogue is actually pretty noisy.
Pantry in South Philadelphia. We're a vegan
and pretty quiet. Obviously, this definitely needs to be turned up. And then the sound on track 2 is just kind of more restaurant sounds. We're going to see how it handles having such noisy dialogue. So we'll go to Timeline, AI Tools, Audio Assistant. We'll do YouTube once again. I'll also be interested to see if this gets any closer to the actual YouTube standard. It is whipping through this relatively quickly. It does seem a little bit slower than that first promo, even though they're about the same duration, give or take a few seconds. Okay, we've got a final master. Let's go to the beginning and give this a listen.
I run Miss Rachel's Pantry in South Philadelphia. We're a vegan restaurant and catering company. Vegan means no animal products. Anything that has been made from something that's alive, we don't use it. I grew up eating traditional Jewish comfort food and became vegetarian at a very young age. So my grandmother's matzo ball soup was just out of the question. So a big triumph for me is making really good matzo ball soup. We have our vegan macaroni and cheese, which is so important to me. Our barbecue seitan is tangy and sweet and a little bit spicy, has a lot of protein, a really great texture. It's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, there's some very strange stuff going on. The music suddenly gets very loud here in the middle.
Tangy and sweet and a little bit spicy, has a lot of protein, a really...
There was a weird edit here at the beginning, but I'm going to put that down to whoever edited this for the training material, because I literally just took a timeline directly from them. So yeah, not super impressed with this one. I'm going to head back over to Fairlight. It's done basically the same as that first promo. The EQ curve is literally just, it's in fact, I think it might even be the same amount, 77. Let's see if it got any closer to the YouTube preset. New track, hit OK. Right click, clip operations, analyze audio levels for YouTube. Oh yeah, this is actually even worse than the first one. Safe to say, this is a little bit disappointing. So, did AI just replace my audio engineer? Absolutely not. I'm honestly not as impressed by the audio assistant as some other folks on YouTube seem to be. Some of the other tools like the EQ matcher and the music editor are a good starting point, but I know I'll be going in and tweaking anything they do to my audio. With that said, this is version 1 for these tools, and knowing how much time and effort the folks behind this software put in, I won't be shocked to see big improvements in the future. In the meantime, you can click this link to see what I think about some of the other new tools in DaVinci Resolve 20, and I'll see you in the next video.